What if a conflict thousands of kilometers away could quietly reshape your everyday life here in Europe? Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. From the price you pay at the petrol station, to the stability of entire economies, to the security decisions being made behind closed doors, something is shifting in the Middle East. And while it may seem distant, its impact is already moving closer than many realize. It didn't begin with a single moment. There was no sudden headline declaring a crisis. Instead, it started quietly. A statement from one government, a response from another. Military movements that at first glance seemed routine. But over time, those small developments began to connect. Across the Middle East, tensions have been steadily rising. Long-standing rivalries have sharpened. Warnings have become more direct. And now what once felt like background noise has become something far more serious. For Europe, this isn't just another distant geopolitical story. It's something with real consequences. So why does this matter here? Why should someone in London, Paris, Berlin, or Madrid care about events unfolding thousands of kilometers away? The answer lies in connection. Because Europe is not isolated. It is deeply linked to the Middle East, economically, politically, and strategically. Energy supplies, trade routes, migration patterns, and security partnerships all tie Europe to this region. And when tensions rise there, it doesn't stay contained, it spreads. At the center of this tension lies a narrow stretch of water known as the Strait of Hormuz. On a map, it appears small, but in reality, it is one of the most critical energy routes in the world. A significant portion of global oil passes through this single corridor every day. If that flow is disrupted, even briefly, the consequences are immediate. Oil prices rise, markets react, and economies begin to feel the strain. For Europe, which relies heavily on imported energy, this is not a distant concern. It's direct, it's immediate. What makes the current situation particularly concerning is the way it's unfolding. There has been no formal declaration of war, no single moment that clearly marks the beginning. Instead, escalation is happening gradually. Military readiness has increased, strategic positioning has shifted, diplomatic language has become sharper. Each move is measured, each response calculated. But with every step, the margin for error becomes smaller. For Europe has worked to diversify its energy sources, reducing dependency, building resilience, exploring alternatives. But the reality remains. A significant portion of Europe's energy supply is still influenced by global markets. And those markets are highly sensitive to instability in the Middle East. When tensions rise, prices follow. And those price changes don't stay on financial charts. They appear in everyday life. Higher transport costs, increased heating bills, rising prices across multiple sectors. The impact doesn't stop at energy. It spreads. Through supply chains, through trade networks, through financial systems. European economies are interconnected with global markets. When uncertainty increases, investment slows, businesses become cautious, consumers begin to feel pressure. What starts as a geopolitical issue quickly becomes an economic one. Beyond economics, there is another layer: security. European governments are closely monitoring developments, not just for what is happening now, but for what could happen next. Increased tension in the Middle East can lead to wider instability, and instability often brings broader risks. This is why discussions are taking place quietly within defense ministries, within international alliances, preparing for scenarios that everyone hopes will never happen. Amid all the strategy and analysis, there is a human side to this story. Families, communities, lives. And history has shown that when tensions rise in one region, migration patterns can shift. Europe has experienced this before. And while every situation is different, the possibility of humanitarian impact is always part of the equation. Right now, the situation exists in a delicate balance. No full-scale conflict, but no true stability either. Diplomacy continues, warnings continue, preparations continue. It's a moment where everything feels uncertain, and uncertainty is often the most difficult state to navigate. So what comes next? That's the question everyone is asking. Will tensions ease? Will diplomacy succeed? Or will a single moment, a single miscalculation push the situation further? Because history has taught us something important. When tensions reach this level, change can happen quickly. For Europe, this is not a story to ignore. It is something to understand, because its effects are already being felt, even if quietly. And staying informed means staying prepared. For now, the world is watching, carefully, closely, waiting to see what happens next. Because in moments like this, the next move can shape far more than just one region. It can shape the world. If you want clear, simple explanations of global events and what they mean for Europe, subscribe to Europe Info Hub. Because understanding the world has never been more important.